لو ما أنت هيزت زغنة ترمي كنا حتمزانه هاي توصل صار شو أقول أنا بيساك بزكي
سلاك بجاخي يغني لي
لا it can be
ما غلط لما أنت يا أخي وان في الناس وتسرح تمثلي أبزم شو على شو عد تسرح زي سر أنا ونك حنقول لك عرفت لي
تبالها جن أما أقول لك كسرك أكو تبغى يكون سلازم صرحت رأي جلنا ينوصل لي تزاور أكو طمن حدر كلنا ناس عند بيبي
هراي دهان هجيني قطر أسر زلني نتمزموت السبات صباح باليوم ليت ما تيجي قبر لمي
نحبا بخلوا نكو زربك هزرب علني
أنت يا أخي ما قتلني دعرزي نفس راح زي أي تمساعدي بلا حركة تبيك
أيقونات نس خلا مو نايس جزاونا عندي خمي لبس راح يسرح بلكا بعبي أخمن ذكر سيزوله أمانة تطوعهم كله
مش
يس
نداني اللي بحل مني استحقاك خمانة وستلك لا أخو
سدي تعالي هذا
بجاخي عم تحت زير دا الكاسب مسرح ولا مسكلت كي حدون قرتهم
نداني نقعد راح دحن كونك
قرمكي تمالي ساعات أخيلو كومبلاسيني أو خبل ولا عمنا متى أسرح لكات بلني وا لا متى يسرح بلا زماكي نازية مصباح مكيش هزلو مصباح هزلو كنت نطلو مع أنت عريقة تحضر له أتبلن وا أجل أمو ساعات أخيلو نتبرقوا تايمو أمر تايم توصل سولتني كاب نزات سلتس نساري حمقي لسرحي قلتيلي سولة سارش
بس أوكي تساقم يلا نقعد راح دحن كونك مبر تشايلي يا حديرة
ترديني تايم أخبر أنا محد شاينسة
لا حجي الأسرح عندي هذا
لا يمبر
نعم وده حالي نقعد رئيسي
تحي سارة
كنزب حج فارس كيتكا زلوا علاني جزا خفافوا لي أخ
أنا سبحانك وزي من لياتي سارة حفتي
دحن حدا هون كخلتي كواني زجنزب زر ما سريقة ولا مين زمت أخوة جنزب أيكونا ركنت ناس فلت أحواتي من شاهي لم سيد دمك
ساري حفتي بليز أنا نعاقم برن جنزب كيكون كذا فكر كان فرحي
إيه
فقري كن بأمت بحليت نفسي كيسرت فرحي
أمنت أبوت له متهلاي ما همو مريت كون رأسي لا توقع صغت قسم كان الماضي بس هاي إيه مجوات فطرتات انبزام مفتاوسي ناس جيزين جراهم داشا معكم حج خا جيزي سرحي مثلني إيه مجودي تامكينا أبوس تريجرك
هو ودي لهم ما تيجي منيرم حسابهم كفيل مسيلهم
صوب صراحة أنا قصلي حج دم حدش تزاز علينا ساعدني كده بس اللي حوي يسرح كسرح ساعة شو الشجنة تمر خلتنا تبيك
ترى سارة حفتي علمك قم قرت ما قرت تنشنك مكران الحرزي بالله ما قرت يبلها اليوم مفلاسفات كنا يتمال الحرزي قواني فيني نقول على هالك خمس سمايات هاري في سرزلو دبخ لك اوكي سويتي
دعانكم تقاطي ابو زحت شجر من ترسا حالي سرح زي كونس سيطان اغني زحلو الوازله شاطري تبيك على هيك
Sorry, I love you.
اوكي هراي بقى هباط عمس مز اخذولي باي
Hello, sorry.
ما يسعرف من تليفون لايزي ناينا فوقت ولا صايم صح
تناينا فوقت بلدك يا تناي مسحك انت قاعد يا اخي
كو عمو حنت فلتكو مسحك اخباي
كلي ترغبين بجاخي
يسلي حوي تكنزو وحيدك هادي
كم مالتي يكونكن حجن باص اوريتكم اود باص نزاتو تحداس ماكينه أوصوا زبل تأزاز بالعلواي أكلت محلالي فينا
ما غدا
درو تبقيس ناس درفو كمان بس إحنا صار
بين غدها
كون ويزريت مقرة مبران لوا مساي
هلا
انت را خونكي يسلطنا درايفر مبر انت خيلنا كل خنملسينا
هرا سلي هاوي بمساعد خد اقول لي
اوكي ساري شكر I love you bye
ودبات اخيدكا خوصاي زمصت حداش مكينه تمص بزح بروسس يزلو ጨው አይኮንም ካብ ዕዳጋ ገዚኣ ክትምለስ ግድነት ምህዳር ኣሎ እወ
against red meat. But if you look statistically, the red meat eaters do have significantly more coronary artery disease and significantly more cancer. Now, why cancer? Well, it turns out that cancer tumors in humans use Nu5GC to shield themselves from detection by the immune system. The problem is we don't manufacture Nu5GC, nor can a cancer cell, which means they acquired it from external sources, namely beef, lamb, and pork. Now, fish doesn't carry it. They have the same molecule that we do, and chicken have the same molecule that we do. So I urge people, if they're going to eat animal protein, and I do, to use wild shellfish or wild fish as their main source of animal protein. Do I eat meat? Yeah, I mean, do I eat beef? I do. But I get grass-fed and grass-finished beef, and I use it as a treat, not as a mainstay of my diet.
And then what's your take on eggs?
The yolk of the egg may be the most beneficial food that has ever been invented. And as long as the chickens are fed what they're designed to eat. Well, I actually ask people to mainly throw the whites away. So we'll do a 4-egg omelet, but 4 of them are yolks and just use 1 white.
And what is it in the whites or about the whites that make them problematic?
Okay, it's animal protein. And let's look at another reason not to eat animal protein, sadly. So animal protein, there's a sensor in all of our cells called mTOR, and it senses energy availability, and it senses sugar availability, but it senses certain amino acid availability. So if you avoid or lessen your amount of animal protein, your mTOR will fall. Now, we have no way of measuring clinically mTOR, but we can use a surrogate for that, which is insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1. And in my super old people, and I study a lot of super olds, 95 and above, they all have extremely low insulin-like growth factors.
And why is that a number you want to get down?
Because super old people always run low insulin-like growth factors. They always do. And in my upcoming book, The Longevity Paradox, if you look at societies of the blue zones, the longest living people on Earth, the common factor that they all have in their diet, they have very diverse diets. There's no universal diet that these people follow. And I was a professor at one of the blue zones, Loma Linda, for most of my life. The thing that separates or unites all of those various diets is they eat very little animal protein. And one of the things we notice about super old people is they run low body temperatures. They're running 96 degrees, whereas you and I are running 98.6. And they become incredibly efficient creatures. My mentor, Dr. Morrow, always said that you only have so many heartbeats. And when you use those up, that's the end. And he's actually right in a lot of ways, but the corollary to that is, let's suppose your design is that you only get so many calories in your lifetime, and you can use them quickly, or you can spread them out. And that's why fasting is so useful, and intermittent fasting is so useful, because it's actually an easy way just to reduce your calorie intake. And it's, once you learn how to do it, it's an easy way to make this system work.
How do you pull it off? So I'm a huge proponent of intermittent fasting and fasting in general. How do you do it? How do you make it an easy process?
So I started 11 years ago at January 1st to June 1st. During the week, I would eat all my calories in a 2-hour window from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. So that 22 out of the 24 hours every day, 5 days a week, I was fasting 22 hours. Now, why 6 to 8 o'clock at night? Because that's when my wife and I were at home. And now, this is, as you know, for a professional driver on a closed course.
Right.
What most people who try to do this don't realize, about 80% of us in America are insulin resistant. We have much too much insulin production. And I won't bore you or the listeners, but most people can't do prolonged fasting for even more than a few hours because they can't access the fat that they've stored.
Right.
And they crash. And it's often called the Atkins flu or the low carb flu, where they have to be able to transition over to using ketones as a fuel. Now, you can get there fairly quickly, and we have tips in the book on how to do that. You actually have to use exogenous ketones for a while, things like MCT oil, things like coconut oil, even red palm oil. There's a little bit of exogenous ketones in butter. It's called butyric acid.
Yeah, it's intermittent fasting is really, really powerful for alleviating brain fog, for changing your relationship to hunger is how I always think of it. It's just fundamentally different. And then getting your machinery used to actually accessing your body fat and all that.
We're designed to use up fat. We just have to, use the tricks to get to that fat. For most people who are overweight or obese, what's so frustrating for them is they try things like intermittent fasting, and they're pretty miserable. They get headaches, and they're very hungry. Their brain is going, hey, what's the deal? You've cut me off. It's water everywhere and not a drop to drink. And we see so many overweight and obese people. And I was 70 pounds overweight. I was obese, running 30 miles a week and going to the gym 1 hour a day.
Wow.
And going, how come I'm such a fat guy? I couldn't get to my fat stores because I had an elevated insulin level. When I first, got my insulin level, wow, what's that? Now I have a very low insulin level.
No, that stuff is fascinating in terms of the complexities of really breaking through and figuring out for you, what do you have to do to lose fat, keep it off, and yeah, it's a very complex thing. And to that end, not necessarily, my question is not really about fat loss, but given what we've been talking about, lectins and autoimmune and all of those joints, aches, pains, all the things that come along with it, psoriasis, all of that, what should people be eating? So we've got a rough sense of what we should be avoiding, but what should we be actively pursuing?
Okay, so the only purpose of food is to get olive oil into your mouth. There are 3 long-lived societies in the blue zones that use 1 liter of olive oil per week. That's about 12 to 14 tablespoons a day.
Can I use it to saute?
You can use it to saute. Believe it or not, there's a wonderful paper from the NIH showing that olive oil does not break down into harmful compounds.
That's amazing.
But bring olive oil to the table So if you're going to have a steak, please pour it on your meat, as they do in Italy. They always bring a bottle of olive oil so you can have steak Florentina and just drench it with olive oil. The steak is there to get olive oil into your mouth. Broccoli is there to get olive oil into your mouth. A salad is there to get olive oil into your mouth. So there are wonderful cruciferous vegetables. You can have all the bok choy, broccoli, cauliflower, have cauliflower pizzas. There's a great recipe in my cookbook for cauliflower pizza.
Can I have Japanese sweet potatoes?
Yes, please.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, but the purpose of the sweet potato is to get olive oil into your mouth.
Yes, which works for me just fine if I can saute or use an air fryer.
Yeah.
Have you done
Yes,
the air fryers?
indeed.
Oh my God, they're like French fries.
They sure are.
So, yeah, I
So
freaked
those are
out.
great for you. Things like yucca or yucca make phenomenal French fries, but parboil them first and then put them in the air fryer. Also, any tuber, so like celeriac root is fantastic. Jicama. So get some guacamole. Believe it or not, true guacamole does not have tomatoes in it. That's an American whatever. And get yourself some jicama sticks. Trader Joe's has them. Lots of plain old grocery stores have them. Use that as your dipping chip. Other thing